Teela, daughter of Eternios. This is a prequel novel to the He-Man movie um, that is playing in theaters, and this video will contain some mild spoilers for that movie, but nothing that I, as someone who's seen the movie, will tell you will ruin your experience of the movie. But honestly, there's a lot of people out there um, who get really sensitive about spoilers, even though they're objectively things that don't matter. So, just warning for those fucking dweebs. Um, yeah, I like this novel. I actually was very surprised. I got this in the mail literally Tuesday, and Tuesday or Wednesday, something like that. Either way, I finished it by Friday. So that's kind of wild for me. I don't read books very quickly. But this book was a really quick read. The chapters were very tiny. But also I thought this was a really good prequel to the novel because, or not the novel, the movie. Because essentially what this book is about is at the beginning of the He-Man movie, which you see in the trailers, Skeletor wins, takes over Eternia, and Adam flees to Earth and eventually has to find his way back to Eternia, and Teela has to bring him back. Right? You see that in the trailers. All that is there. So I'm not spoiling anything on that front. But Teela is not on Earth. So this story is kind of giving more backstory of what Teela was doing as a freedom fighter. It's and kind of giving us more of that information. She fights a dragon. There's all kinds of cool stuff that happens in this book. And it gives her more of a character. Because while Camila Mendes is, let's be honest, a very beautiful woman. And she had a lot of fun in that movie. And she brought a lot of great energy to that role. And I love her in the movie. She didn't really have a lot of character. In fact, there's a weird bit in the movie about maybe her and He-Man having a romantic connection, but then they kind of go nowhere with that. So, again, mild spoilers in this video, but there just wasn't a lot to work with there in that movie for her. And I'm not saying she did a bad job. She did what she was given, right? This movie, obviously had more fun with everything because or this book, I'm sorry, because it gave her more of a character, explain more things. If I do have one flaw, they do acknowledge it, and Duncan's in the book, or you know, as we know him, Man at Arms, her father. I think, but there's still not enough development on that front. The movie did that stuff a little bit better than the book did, but it's okay. I also, just as a fan, am still a little bit perplexed. And I didn't think about this when I shot my review. Really should have mentioned this in my review, but in the He-Man universe, there's an episode of the original series where they wipe Teela's memories, where she learns that the sorceress and her have like family lineage and all this stuff. And so now that they brought Man at Arms to be her father, obviously he either was with the sorceress or she was adopted very young by Man at Arms, right? So, kind of like Cassandra from Tangled, the series, they're very similar characters. But they don't like hint at any of that, so I'm curious where all that stuff was going. Maybe they did want to retread old stuff in the He-Man universe. I don't know. I don't know the reason for it, but what I'm just explaining is seemed a little bit odd, and both this book and the movie don't mention it at all. Seems kind of odd to me, but it is a fun prequel that adds depth to the story of Teela in the He-Man movie and gives her more of like a real character. So when you go back and watch the movie, you kind of understand more about who she is, and how much everything around going around in the movie meant to her. I think you get enough in the movie that it's fine. It's not a big deal, but it is a fun book. I recommend it. It's right now at a price point of $20. It is kind of light, so I mean, if you're not in a rush to grab it, maybe wait for like a sale, like $15, $12. But by day one, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Also, this cover is great. Love this cover. I also like that, you got some attorney and writing there. You got Evelyn and Teela. Oh, by the way, Evelyn's in this book a lot, and that was cool because Evelyn was the best part, or one of the best parts of the movie. Alison Brie, just, man, she ate the fuck out of that role. So, yeah, very fun book. Let me know your thoughts. Like, share, and subscribe.